Let's keep these wheels in motion. In motion. You thought I did not know. Did you think I would let it go? Oh no. And in time, yes, I think it's absurd. But until then, you'll leave your words. But lay on. Lay on. Now it's time to defend your lies. Lies you've been feeding me all this time. And will you reoffend? Oh darling, you say that you are innocent, but your words, they seem irrelevant, but still play on. Now it's time to defend your lies. Lies you've been feeding me all this time. And will you reoffend? Oh darling, oh you have reached your lover's end. No more will we make pretend like we something to fight for. Oh. Oh, we had nothing to fight for. Nothing to fight for. We had nothing to fight for. We had nothing to fight for. someday we'll find what we're looking for. Till then, you'll still be a boy. Don't tell me who I have become. Don't tell me who I have become. I remember what you'd say. We're all looking to be loved. And somehow, someday, we'll find what we're looking for. Until then, we'll all be yours. We'll all be yours. We'll all be yours.
Good evening, race fans, and yeah, we're back. It's Friday night. We're back for the British Touring Car Championship League with Full Throttle Racing, rounds 13, 14 and 15, and we are at what they describe as the most beautiful racetrack on the planet. And I'll tell you what, it'll be hard to disagree. We're at Spa, 4.3 miles, 21 challenging corners, 7 laps, and the world famous Radion and Eau Rouge corners, which can punish you, particularly when the track is moist. We're about 3 minutes away from qualifying. I do want to apologise for not being here last week. My daughter had quite a major operation. Big shout out to the spinal scoliosis team at St George's University Hospital in London. Some of the best surgeons in the country, and woefully underfunded by this shitty Tory government. That's all I'm going to say about it. Congratulations to that team for all the work they did. Anyway, moving swiftly on. This is where we are today. We're at Spa. Absolutely love this racetrack, and actually, to be fair, I don't think there's anybody involved in racing in any way, whether it be sim racing at this level, watching motor racing, or getting involved with racing itself, that doesn't love this motor racing circuit. That's where we are. We're at Spa. Got 1 round left. We move on next week for the season finale at the Deep Forest Raceway. Lots of trees there, of course. But this is how we look going into the penultimate race. Liam McEwen is still leading the way in that Honda Civic, but by just 3 points. Ethan Graham dropping off the pace a little bit after a sort of really good early start. Adam Piper in the Renault Megane up to second place. Panos there in fourth in the AMG. Unfortunately won't be making it this evening, so that could take him completely out of the running for this championship. We've got John Thompson there, always very quick, him 133 points. Can give himself a shout tonight with some good performances. West Surrey Racing, the BMW team, that's Ethan and Lewis Edwards. Those guys currently lead the championship, the Constructors' Championship that is, with the Rich Energy Honda team just behind on 281 and the AMG team of Sicily Motorsports with 263. Power Max not out of it yet, only 253 points for them, with Team Hard, Napa Racing and the other Honda Halford team just a little bit further down the order. Need to get some points today. Expecting lap times here in these cars, I would imagine in the mid 220s. I think if we look at, I think a good solid qualifying time is going to be hello Tank Bro. A bit, sorry, somebody just friended me. I've been waiting for the friend request. Yeah, I think if we're looking, we should be looking. I think the faster guys should be putting in 225 thereabout, maybe 223s, 221s even. Are they quick enough to go sub 220? I'm not sure. I'm sure they're quick enough. I'm not sure the car has enough for it. But it's going to be a good one tonight. There is probably... Let's have a quick look at the weather radar, shall we? Let me turn this off so you can see what I can see. Can you see what I see? At the moment, the weather radar not showing anything. But don't... That's up to the current time, so we'll zoom right out. There's nothing there at the moment. That doesn't mean it's not going to happen. It could be in qualifying. It could be during the race. It could be during any one of the three races. And you, as we well know, anyone that watched the finale of GT Alphas at the end of 2023 will know that when this track gets wet, all bets are off. Anything can happen. The championship was already decided, luckily, for GT Alphas by the time we got to Spa, but I tell you what, the top, everyone else in the top six got messed up a little bit, and I tell you what, the guy in second very nearly lost a place in the top three because of the rain here. So it just goes to show just how difficult this racetrack can be. We're doing on board once we get to qualifying. Same format as usual, 10-minute qualifying session, followed by 3 7-lap races. First race set by grid, second race set by the results of the first race, and then reverse grid for all the fun and shenanigans. I'll tell you what, there is nothing more exciting than heading into Eau Rouge on lap 1 of a reverse grid when you were the guy that finished the last race last and everyone behind you is super quick. It's frightening, absolutely frightening. And yeah, it could be absolute carnage. Message coming through to Adam to get on track, you flid, so we can get started. 11 runners this evening, and we'll get cracking with some qualifying here at Spa. And I tell you what, it's already looking pretty darn gloomy. So do not be surprised if we see the wet weather tyres come out. There is, of course, the mandatory mediums to be used. I don't know where we stand with mandatory mediums if there's a wet race. If you were going to use the mediums but it turns wet, do you not have to use them anymore? How does that work? Be interesting. Anyway, without further ado, we'll get involved in some qualifying, shall we? I know it's even in the latest update, they still haven't fixed this stupid thing. Really annoying. Can't remember what the key is. It's only been a week. I probably should start remembering what everything does. I've got a lot of broadcasting to do in the next couple of days. Yes, Platform Racing TV are the media partners of a couple of endurance racing federations. The IRO, the International Racing Organisation, begins their 2024 season of the Gran Turismo Endurance Championship. It's a team championship. There are 14 teams involved in that endurance racing championship, and we start out this weekend. Actually, it's qualifying tonight, but the qualifying tomorrow starts before the racing normally. 6 hours, 6 glorious hours of racing tomorrow. which should be very interesting. That's at Barcelona. You can catch me for the opening stint and the qualifying there around midday tomorrow. And then, of course, alongside that is the Endurance Racing Federation starts their 2024 season with 12 hours at Bathurst, which kicks off probably about the same time, but I'm not broadcasting. I'm doing the final stint for that. Stint 4 and stand the final stint, the running, the best bit, of course. Right, so we've got 11 cars out there vying for positioning now. In terms of the best car for this, I think we're looking at one of the cars that you would expect to put in a good performance here. This Ford Focus, very well suited to these track conditions. Of course, it depends how you get it set up. You cannot count Liam out at all. He's been absolutely dominant all season, really been bringing some fantastic pace to that rich energy Honda. Ethan Graham as well in the BMW, been very, very quick. There's Adam there in that Renault. The Renault have made a bit of a resurgence over the last couple of weeks and started moving up that table. Original John, very quick as well in that. Volkswagen Golf. I don't know what car he was in. I was trying to read something. Someone sent me a message at the same time. I can't multitask. Absolutely can't multitask. Which is why I automate everything I do into like single buttons, so I don't have to really concentrate on what buttons I'm pressing. In all honesty, there we go. There's Aaron Riley in the. He's in the Mercedes-Benz, isn't he? Yes, he is. Why does it look different? It looks different, but he is in the Mercedes-Benz, of course. There's Mark T. He's in the Honda. We've got Dash, our glorious host, in that Renault Megane. Right, who should we do the on-board with? I want to do it with Mr. Graham. So through the source we go, as Liam ahead of him goes quite wide. You want to flick to this right-hand side as you come up, as you head into Eau Rouge, and then, of course, into Radion straight from there. Little flick to the left, flick to the right. On that power, keep it pressed down. Avoid the track limit penalty if you can before you head up the Kemmel Straight. Full tilt up to turn 5, Lacombe. A bit of slipstream here, and Lacombe is a very, very good overtaking opportunity at this racetrack, topping out about 150 miles an hour on those brakes into Lacombe. The right-hander, left-hander, turn 6 into Malmedy, turn 7, which is quite a tricky corner. You just lift for it, but if you get on the power too early, you're in trouble. Down to turn 8, Rivage, this big switchback. Seems to take forever before you can get back on the power here. You can see you hug that inside line, get on that power, heading down to Speaker's Corner, or No Name, whichever way you want to look at it, depending on who you ask. Another blast of power down the hill now. We've got the trees there on your right hand side. You're looking for that 50-metre board. You're going to just have a little dab and brake as you turn into Pouillon, and then powering back out, using all of that outside line to get your car rotating through Pouillon and down to turn 12, Le Fangs. I think I pronounced that wrong, but I don't care. Turn 12, turn 13 takes you into one of my favourite corners. And I'll tell you why it's my favourite corner. Stavelot here is one of my favourite corners because it's kind of the end of the twisty bit, and it lines up a very long run of straights here, which is, of course, you've got the Pulfrere curve, which is flat out. Unless it's wet, you might have to lift here. Heading through that dreaded penalty line into turn 16, Blanchimont, which really isn't a turn. You're kind of just drifting to the left hand side, heading down towards the final corner. Round turn 17 you go, again full pelt when it's not wet, and you want to get this car lined up to the as far to the left hand side as you can, on the brakes nice and early into this very tricky bus stop chicane, and that is your first lap, or a lap around this absolutely iconic racetrack. Across the line he goes. How are we looking in terms of times? Shall we have a little look, you see? Right, so Evil Dragon. I said I thought that Ford was going to be pretty quick around here, and he's done a 2:25. Pretty much bang on where I thought the front runners would be, the mid 2:20s. So 2:25 for Evil Dragon. It's not often I'm right, but even a stopped clock is right twice a day. Liam, to be fair, I know this racetrack really, really well, and I love it. So I can pretty much get there or thereabouts. Liam looking pretty good in the Honda, 2:26 for him. Harding on that second row with a 26.5. Adam just coming out of the pits, so I can't see what time it is, but it's not It's not too far behind. It's only a tenth and a half behind Harding at the minute for row 2. There is Ethan Graham in the BMW with a 26.7. Not too far behind that second row. He'll want to. I mean, it's less than a second behind the leaders. It's not. If you've only put a couple of laps in, it is possible to find another second around here. There's enough corners to allow you to do that, and you'll know when you've gone round Spa enough. You'll know when you've nailed a corner and where you've left time on the table. And if you know you've left time on the table, you can work on that and you can find that 1 second pace that he needs. There is Groot. Here's Groot in the Rich Energy Honda. He is currently on row 3, ahead of the only American. Yee bloody ha! Original John, he's in 7th position. I don't know why I make fun out of Americans so much. I do a lot of broadcasting for American race groups. I'm surprised they haven't sacked off the crazy Englishman yet. Mark T running in 8th, Riley in 9th. There's St. Dash, the patron saint of racing. He's in 10th, and Captain Slow, there he is. He is currently running in 11th place, 6.8 seconds off the pace at the moment. A lot of time on the table to find there for him. But Evil Dragon is the man on the top step. Is he going to improve on that 25.8? He does. 6 tenths quicker. That gives him a second up from Liam. It does improve, but not enough. Only by a couple of tenths. Not good enough for stealing that front row. There's the other Ford. I told you that these Fords are going to be strong around here. Currently on row 2. Didn't improve that time with a 27.3. That allows Groot with that 26.5 to leapfrog him up into the third position. I was going to say the front of the second row, but that sounds a bit stupid. While they're going around, they've got a couple of minutes left. We haven't addressed the motorsporting elephant in the room yet, which is Spamilton ditching Mercedes for Ferrari for the 2025 season. I'm not going to go into massive... I don't think it's any secret that I think he's a massive fucking knob and undeserving of the World Championships he's won. Certainly not the ones that he was gifted by virtue of Mercedes having a sweetheart deal with the FIA, and certainly not because he's not this humble man from humble beginnings that he makes out to be, but he's been silver spoon fed his racing career his entire life. But we won't, I'm not going to go too much into that. I've made no secret about my feelings about him, but I actually think moving to Ferrari is one of the stupidest things he's ever done. Ferrari have not demonstrated over the last few seasons that they are anywhere near putting in a significant challenge for a world championship. They've been better than Mercedes for the last couple of seasons, but I think it's a massive gamble. I think for him, he's done it for the money. And look, at the end of the day, he's a racing driver and he races for money. So, he's done it for money, and that's what he's done. But if he's going there expecting a world championship, I think he's going to be sorely mistaken. And I feel for Charles Leclerc, because I think Charles Leclerc has put a lot of work in that Ferrari in incredibly difficult circumstances with a team that could not tactic their way out of a wet paper bag in terms of any sort of reasonable race strategy. Ferrari have been a bit of a team in turmoil in terms of getting anything right, and Charles Leclerc has been really unlucky to be a talented driver that gets the brunt end of that. Only for Lewis Hamilton to step in. And let's face it, people say there's no number one, number two driver. If you're Lewis Hamilton and you've got that many world titles, whether you are 150 years old or not, you're not stepping into that team as a number 2 driver. So essentially, Charles Leclerc is getting busted down to number 2 so they can bring in the big money man. Listen, I could be eating my words in a couple of years' time, and he could be there or thereabouts challenging for a world title. I severely doubt it, and I think he should have just, if he wasn't intending on staying with Mercedes, I think the honourable thing for him to have done would have been to retire. But Mercedes were never going to give him the crazy 100 million a season he wanted, and shares in Mercedes-Benz. That was never going to happen. So I suppose it was inevitable he was going to go somewhere like Ferrari. Anyway, moving swiftly on. So, final lap of qualifying. Evil Dragon still on pole. No one's been really close. I say close, 3/10 is close, but in motor racing, 3/10 is nothing. 25.2 is a good, solid time. Adam's done a really good time in that Renault Megane. 25.5 was his quickest time. He is now done qualifying. Liam, 25.5 for him. But he's on his final hot lap. Has he got enough in the tank? Is there enough left for him to steal pole position on this last hot lap? He's only got one more sector to go as he heads down. Evil Dragon does the honourable thing and moves right out of the way. Lets Liam through into Pouillon. As he heads down now, he's on that power. We'll have a look as they cross this timing line for sector 2, where he currently sits in terms of his time. He's got this left-hander to go before he goes down to sector 3. Into sector 3 he goes now, and the time on the board is 800th of a second down. It's going to be incredibly difficult to find 800th of a second, and he needs more than that actually. He may just have enough. If he can find a little bit extra, he may be able to nick second position, but certainly not the front row. Anyway, done. Time ran out anyway, so it didn't really matter. So there we have it. Evil Dragon and Adam on the front row. Liam and Groot on row 2. Harding and Graham on row 3. That's not a great performance from Graham considering his normal pace. Original John and St Dash on row 4. Row 5 is Riley and Mark with Captain Slow bringing up the rear as he usually does, and credit to him for sticking it out week in, week out, race in, race out. It's hard to do. The week before last, Black Flag do a little GR4 series on a Monday, and you know I sort of jump in, jump out when I'm free and able to do so. But the guys that are racing in it, particularly the top 6, are absolutely phenomenally quick. I mean, crazy quick. There's a manual grid start, so it's hard to talk. They're crazy fast guys, and you know it can be quite demoralising for anybody that's racing them to kind of have to race around a racetrack. For some reason my button's not working. It turns on that. Oh, there we go. I mean, if you're racing around at the back, it can be quite demoralising when you see these guys shooting off up the road, and you know the next closest guy to you by the end of that one is already 2 or 3 seconds clear. So credit to anybody who goes into these races and basically sits at the back, because I've done it, and it can be, particularly for the longer races. When it's short race like this, 6-7 laps, it's not too bad. But if you are, you're going into an hour-long race, 30 laps, 40 laps kind of thing, it's incredibly difficult to keep that motivation. So I do have a lot of respect for anybody who races week in, week out in a competition, and isn't really challenging anyone. It sits around there at the back, but races it out to the end. Well, that's all I'm going to say about that, really. They're having the grid reset for a late arrival. I don't know who that parking is. Your Doug's Goat Tits. Your Doug's Goat Tits. I don't know what he's trying to say there, but who knows. Right, I think we're all set, ready to go. Just going to check if we're missing anyone. I know we're missing Panos. Big blow for Panos actually not being here. He was there or thereabouts for the championship, and certainly AMG were in for a potential shot at the championship. But with Panos not being here this evening, AMG are going to lose a lot of points. He's always there or thereabouts with that top 3. Has been all season, really bringing it in. That's not to say that Riley hasn't been doing his bit. Absolutely, he's been doing his bit in the AMG. But when you've got a guy like Panos that is challenging up the front and has won a race or 2, it's a big blow for the team when he doesn't show with just this and one more race remaining. Final race, of course, at Deep Forest Raceway this time next week. So here we go. That was qualifying done. We move into the first of 3 7-lap races this evening, with Evil Dragon sitting on pole position. Let's have a look. Let's go chase cam. Let's go back to. Let's have a look from Original John. See how these Volkswagen start. Actually, I want to go with Riley because we know these AMGs are pretty quick off the line. That's 5 lights. Last light that goes out, and we are away. Again, the AMG is so quick. That 4-wheel drive just allows it to pull away from the line so quickly. In a couple of places gained already. And into turn 1, La Source they go. Are we through safely? Nobody's in the wall. No, we're all good. We're all good in the hood. Like it when they get through there safely. Heading up now towards Eau Rouge and then Radion. And you see Liam there. Already Evil Dragon losing 2 places. Adam up to first. Liam in second. In terms of tyres, we'll have a quick look where everyone's started on. I don't know if everyone's used... I should have checked actually if everyone's used their... first race allocation of the mediums. They essentially have to use mediums in one of the 3 races, and you are limited to how many times you can use it in a particular race. You can only use it twice in the first race, twice in the second, twice in the third, essentially. So Adam on softs, we've got Liam on softs, Evil Dragon softs, Groot and Harding is also on softs. Graham is starting on the medium compound tyres. That would explain his qualifying position, because you have to qualify on the tyres you start on, and because he's starting on the mediums, that's why he qualified on those mediums. Original John on the softs, he's lost out quite significantly, down in 7th. Riley gained a couple of places, but already being swallowed up by those faster cars. And St Dash having a good look down the inside of Riley as they head down to Pouillon for the first time. He's got that inside line, makes that move, makes it look relatively easy as well. Riley going quite wide there through Pouillon. There he is in 9th. Mark T. He makes the move on Riley as well. So that AMG getting absolutely swallowed up in these early stages of this race here at Spa. So Riley down in 10th then, Captain Slow. Sticking with the pack, he's already 5 seconds off the lead, but 1.1 behind Riley. But there is your front 3. Front 4, front 5, front 6, front 7. Look at them, all so close together at the moment. And if we take a look back there, that's where the gap started to open up. 1.3 between Original John and St Dash. 2.8 seconds separates him and the lead. But you can see him there up ahead as they head into Blanchimont for the first time and down to the bus stop chicane to complete lap 1 here at Spa in Belgium. On the brakes they go. Always a dangerous place to brake late, particularly when you're that close. And you can see there John had to back out of the corner to avoid hitting the back of the BMW ahead. That's going to cost him some time. In fact, it's cost him almost a second in time coming out of the bus stop chicane. It's going to be difficult to make that back up. And losing slipstream, absolutely disastrous here, because you want to be tucked in behind the wing of the car ahead, particularly heading up that Kemmel Straight and into and up towards Lacombe. So here we go. We've got Adam still in the lead. Evil Dragon down to 3rd. He was your pole sitter, already losing a couple of places in these early stages of this race. He's got Groot just behind him. He's got Liam ahead. Liam's always been challenging for this championship. Currently tops the leaderboard as he's making the move on Adam as they head up the Kemmel Straight. Adam holding that inside line though. Does not want to give it up and allow Liam to get there under braking. I've seen some great moves here. Is Liam going to do the same thing again? The old switcheroo. He doesn't make it happen. But I've seen so many times that the car sitting on the outside into Lacombe makes a little switcheroo when it flicks to the left and makes the move there. It does take balls of steel though, because you've got to hang that car round the outside of Lacombe without disappearing off into oblivion. He is all over the back of Adam at the moment, making it very, very difficult for him. This is the view from the front of his car, and you can see just how close he is as they come through Pouillon. He's got a little bit of lag on his car actually. I don't know whether that's Adam or him, to be fair. It looks like Adam is lagging a little bit. And the thing is, when a car in front of you's got that little bit of lag, whether it be server lag or whatever, you've got a couple of issues. One is there is the issue of netcode, is that the car it appears to all intents and purposes you hit them, but actually netcode is the case, and that's actually what happened. You've got the other issues. It's very difficult to know which way to chuck the car. If it's lagging one way or the other across the track, it's very difficult for you to make an informed choice about where it's best to place your car when going for an overtake. But he is getting closer and closer and closer. But he's bringing Evil Dragon with him. Look at this. Evil Dragon so close that he could climb in Liam's boot and get a lift around this racetrack. I told you the Ford was going to be quick here. And look at this. It so is still. Evil Dragon did have a little look before they got into the bus stop chicane, but thought better of it. Is he going to have a go this time? Adam losing out. Liam makes the move. It doesn't work. Adam back up into 2nd. But Evil Dragon, what a move from him. We'll check this out again. This is an absolutely phenomenal move from Evil Dragon. You can see here under braking. Nice and wide. Goes for the old switcheroo. Sees them having a little tussle there. Up the inside he goes. 2 for 1. Thank you very much. Bish bash bosh. Bob's your uncle. Lovely jubbly. Great little move there from him up into the lead of this race. Regains the lead of the race, of course. Is he losing out there in Arusa Radion? Oh, it's going off. It's absolutely going off between everyone. Little touches all the way through there. And we'll go back to here because you can see how many cars had to come back on that racetrack after sort of getting tangled up together through Radion and Eau Rouge, and Evil Dragon losing out again to Adam. That Renault Megane really quick up the hill. Really quick up that hill. Right, so we've still got a really close race going on. Back to Harding. Original John not been able to get back involved. Just 1.1 seconds separates the top 6. Look at this fight currently. We need another camera, like a kind of heli cam, so I can sit above these cars, and or maybe have a selection of cars that I can see. That'd be awesome. I think if cars are within this distance from each other, I should be able to have like an overall view. Listening, PD. To be fair, you can't even fix the lobbies. What am I even thinking? Now, it can be difficult actually travelling in the dirty air for so long behind another car. Of course, you want the slipstream, but you don't want your car unsettled under braking, and certainly not under acceleration. And you can see, look how close these cars are. It's like a human centipede of motor cars. The motor car centipede, human centipede 3, or human centipede meets Fast and Furious. That could be the new one. Family. We're going to stick you all together like the human centipede because we're family. I digress slightly. I do take the mick out of Fast and Furious a lot because it is utterly ridiculous. But I really enjoyed Fast 10. It's actually quite a good film. It's kind of got away from the stupidness of going to space and all that kind of rubbish. As we see a couple of cars exploiting track limit. Oh! It looked very much to me, and he has lost control there. Evil Dragon back on the track. Yeah, he lost a bit of control there, Evil Dragon. See if we can see what happened to him, because you can see that he lost a little bit of control here, and has a track limits issue there, and it actually resets him to the track. Quite awkwardly, almost in front of his teammate. That allows Original John to get through. So he's actually dropped down now. Right down to 7th position. That's Hopper's car he's in, Evil Dragon. I'm sure he's like a reserve, isn't he, Evil Dragon? Because I'm sure I've seen him in like a BMW before. He just seems to get to be in a different car every single time. I'm sure he was racing in a BMW before. And he must be, because that's Hopper's car that he's currently driving in. Right, so order's restored for Adam. He's back into the lead of this race. We're over the halfway mark now on lap 4. I say he's in the lead. That's Liam making the move into the source. And up into the lead of this race goes the current championship leader for the Rich Energy Honda team. As Adam relegates to second, Groot's in third. Graham there into 4th place. He's on those medium compound tyres. So actually this is a really good position for him to be in right now. He's got Harding all over the back of him. Whether he can make the move, that's another matter. He's on the soft tyres, so you would have thought that with a bit of slipstream and that little bit of extra torque, and let's be fair, we know that this Ford's pretty darn quick around here, there might be an opportunity for him. Original John holding on there in 6th. He's in 6th by virtue, of course, Evil Dragon, who had that a wibbly wobbly moment at the end of lap 3, which cost him about 4 seconds. You can see there, and he's made the move on Original John. I don't know what happened to him actually. Did he make a mistake? It looked to me that he made a little error of judgment, and that allowed the Ford Focus ST to make the move. He went quite wide there, as you can see. And that Ford Focus was able to just sneak his way through back up into 6th. Looking at the back, 6 seconds back, that's St Dash. He is sort of high 28s, low 29s at the minute. Riley, he's been in those high 29s, but currently in sort of those 230s. Mark T 2.9 behind him. We've got Captain Slow. He's done a 2:31 actually. It's not bad pace. I think Captain Slow, if he can find some consistency, he might be able to put Mark T under a little bit of pressure. He's certainly got some pace in there. So there's Harding. What happened to him? Because he wasn't there before. He's appeared there all of a sudden. He's going very slowly there. So something clearly went horribly wrong for him. there's your race leader. He's starting now just to edge away. Fastest lap of the race, that 2:25.9. A good solid start for him. He's the second clear. He's just not giving up slipstream to Adam behind, and that's devastating. You want to be within kind of 1 second. I think anything more than that and you're not really getting any benefit from the toe. And even then, when it gets out to 1 second, you're not getting huge amounts. You want to be nice and tight, half a second up. So that's going to cost him behind. Now Liam been very smart to pull out that gap. That's what he needs to do. And now he can concentrate on just maintaining that 1 second gap for the last couple of laps. We're on lap 5 of 7 here at Spa. This is, if you're just joining us, then one, you're an idiot. Where the hell have you been? And number 2, this is the Full Throttle Racing with the British Touring Car Championship League. We're in week number 5. Week number 5, the penultimate rounds, 13, 14 and 15 here in Belgium at Spa-Francorchamps. It's not raining at the moment. That doesn't mean that it won't at some stage. There are 3 races this evening. This is race number 1 of those 3. This will set the grid for race number 2, and of course race number 2 will set the grid. I say of course, you might never have seen this before and not have a clue, but that's what's going to happen. He's going to set the grid in reverse for race number 3. Sky's looking ropey as hell, as we see Liam going faster still through sector 2. If he can maintain this through sector 3, I think we can say that the gap's going to be insurmountable without some sort of error. But his teammate there, Groot, in 3rd at the moment. So you can see there that those 2 Rich Energy Hondas really putting the screws on the Renault Megane of Adam there in that maxed power racing Renault Megane. Or Power Max, should I say, not maxed power. Oh, he might have maxed the power, but it's Power Max. So he's actually a lot closer to Liam than I think Liam would have liked going through the bus stop chicane. He lost a bit of time there, Liam. And that's allowed Adam to close. Now, he needs to stay at least there, if not a little bit closer through the source. And we'll see if he can... Let's have a little looky how it looks from his perspective. That's not what we want to see. This is what it looks like from Adam's perspective right now. I'm assuming, of course, that he drives in cockpit view. He may not. But if he was in the cockpit, this is how it would look. He's going to flick it to this left-hand side. Bang. Flick it to the right-hand side. Bang. He's not quite going to be close enough. He's giving up some slipstream to Groot behind. Is Groot going to come into play here to help his teammate? That's certainly a possibility at this stage. You can see he's closing it. He's getting some slipstream, but certainly not enough. And I mean, he's maxing out 153 at the top of the straight, which is a little bit more than I've seen. I think the most I've seen on the others, I think 150. So he's getting a few more miles an hour, or kilometres an hour, if you are somewhere in Europe, than the cars around him. But he's clearly losing some time to Liam through sector 2. That's where Liam seems to find that little edge, and you can see here he's just starting now to edge away from that Renault Megane. So there's your race leader, Liam. 7 tenths up from Adam, 7 tenths up from Liam's teammate in the other Rich Energy Honda, who's running in 3rd. Those top 3 now just starting to edge away, starting to pull away from the rest of the pack. 2.1 seconds back to Mr. Graham himself on those medium tyres, who's under significant pressure from Evil Dragon. Now, we saw Evil Dragon have a bit of a wobble, and it cost him in La Source at the end of lap 3. Sorry, in the bus stop chicane at the end of lap 3. Now he's on soft compound tyres, racing against Graham, who's running his mediums to get rid of them this race. And this will be the last time he has to run them in the opening race, of course. I think he did it last at Sardenga, if I remember rightly. I wasn't here last week, so I haven't got a clue what anybody did. Oh, excuse me, sorry, do you know, I'm not even that tired. I hate yawning to you guys, but it is what it is. So Evil Dragon makes the move, doesn't make it stick. They're side by side going into the bus stop. This, you got to have massive big brown brass balls to it has to be brown, it can be any colour you like, to make a move side by side there. Evil Dragon diving up the inside. He's got that extra torque, extra grip with those soft compound tyres, but he is now going to give up some slipstream to that BMW. Original John getting involved. He's being dragged into this battle. As we can see, like everybody else, like way back, and Dash now back in 7th place. But you can see there, Mr. Graham himself, there he is. He's tucked between Original John and Evil Dragon as they head to this long run up the hill. Nothing separating these cars at the moment. Piece of paper really between them, and John getting all of the slipstream from these two cars. Can he get the move done on Graham? And will he be close enough to make the move maybe on Evil Dragon as well? Graham moving up to the inside. He's got to try and defend that inside line into the braking zone. Not a lot he can really do though. The move is made, but under braking, very, very late on the brakes was Ethan Graham. He really held on well. Original John trying to find a way around. He's just being held off. I'll tell you who's benefiting from this. Evil Dragon, absolutely benefiting from this. He's that kind of battle there has allowed him to just pull away. Where you've got now, Graham is battling with Original John, trying to defend there. He's not putting the screws on Evil Dragon ahead of him, and that has just allowed Evil Dragon to pull out a 1.3 second gap over his rival, and he'll be breathing a sigh of relief because there were points at the end of that lap lap 6 and the beginning of lap 7 where he looked to be certainly catchable. So final lap into the final sector we go. Liam leads by just 0.8 of a second as they head round to Blanchimont for the final time in this first 7-lap race here at Spa. Adam in second. He's been there or thereabouts. Liam has been there or thereabouts the whole race. Evil Dragon, your pole sitter, not so much. He's had to fight his way back. But Liam down to the bus stop chicane. Just one more braking zone to go. Get this right, and it is full points on the board for that Rich Energy team and for Liam. And I'll tell you what, with Groot, they're finishing there in third. That's big points for the Rich Energy team. Liam across the line in first, Adam in second, Groot home in third. Evil Dragon holds on for fourth. Graham, great performance there on those mediums in fifth. Original John in sixth. Could not find a way around Graham on that final lap. He tried. He tried and he tried and he tried. He knocked and he knocked and he knocked. And Graham said, "You ain't coming in, mofo." St Dash across the line in seventh. Riley is going to be eighth, closely followed by Mark T. And there's Harding in that other Ford. And we've just got Captain Slow. He's 11 seconds back. Comes around that bus stop chicane and across the line. Boom Shanker. That was a bit good, wasn't it? Someone didn't put a long enough timer on the finishing time thingy. Need to change the timer on the thingy, Bobby, otherwise it's going to finish too early. There we go. Right, that's how it looks officially. It is the Civic Type R of Liam that takes the win. The McGann Trophy of Adam was second, and the top three rounded out by Groot. Evil Dragon fourth, Graham in fifth, Original John sixth, seventh was St Dash, eighth was Mr. Rally. Congratulations on your relatively new, it's not new, it's probably got an old hat now, but you're relatively new baby. I don't know if I did congratulate you before, but anyway, congratulations anyway. Mark T in the Civic, Harding in that Focus ST, and Captain Slow in 11th place. Awesome, that's not a bad start, was it? It's not a bad race to return to. Yeah, as I said, apologies for last week. It needs must, family comes first and all that shizzle. Right, if you bear with me, my daughter's got a yappy little farty horrible dog. Right, it's a dachshund and it annoys the shit out of me, and he keeps getting himself shut in the bathroom because he's an idiot. I'll be back in a second while I release the whining mutt from his misery. Yeah, love the way the little mutt looked at me like it was my bloody fault. Right, next race is starting in about 7 minutes' time. I'm going to go for a quick comfort break, and I'm going to have a smoke as well. Why not? Why not? I hear you cry. Absolutely no reason why not. See you very, very soon. returned. We are ready to start in, what, about 2 minutes time. We've got a 12th driver joining us. SCLD has made it in that BMW for the second race. He will start at the back of the grid, obviously, having not raced in race number 1. But it was pretty darn close in the top 3. Towards the end there, Liam did start to try and pull out a gap, but yeah, there wasn't a lot separating the top 3 at the end. The top 6 battled for quite some time before some shenanigans into that final chicane. But it's all looking good for the championship. Liam's still at the top of the tree, as we know, after the final race. That's the wrong one. That's the one we want. You can see there, but he's only 3 points clear of Adam. And Adam just behind him in that race number 1, and starting on the front row with him for race number 2 today, race 14 of the calendar. It's going to be an interesting one because the McGann is clearly quicker, particularly up the Kemmel Straight and around Blanchimont. It's difficult, even if you've got that straight line speed, it is difficult heading down to the bus stop chicane around Blanchimont to make any sort of slipstream moves. You don't often see it happen. You'd have to have a significant slipstream advantage for it to work there. But you see, certainly, when they come out of Radion, particularly if he gets a good launch in that Renault Megane, Adam really can close on the back of that Civic, and it's all about defending into the corner at the top and making sure that you can't slip up inside him or make the move. And you'll find often that you'll see, you saw it a couple of times, Liam having to defend there, Graham having to defend there at the top of the Kemmel Straight, defend that inside line. It compromises your entrance into the corner a little bit, but it stops the car with that extra impetus from making that move, and you just have to hold on round the sweeping left-hander before you head down towards the Speaker's Corner section, and then Pouillon and then the rest of it, which is all very complicated part of the racetrack. But get right, it looked like it was going to rain that last race. It was very, very gloomy. Doesn't look anything like it this time. I'm going to have a quick look at the weather radar. The weather radar says no. So maybe not this race. Maybe we get no rain at all. But we know what Spa is like for rain. It's all very, very likely. Right, so we're waiting for the lights to come on. Everyone's beeping their horn. It really annoys me. That's 2, that's 3, that's 4, that's 5 lights. They go out and we will be away for this second of 3 races this evening. Liam with a good start. We know the AMG is going to get a great start. Look at the start from Graham in that BMW. That was a brilliant launch off the line. Into the source they go. Are they through safely? It looks like a little bit of bumping. Oh, very, 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 very wide there. I think that was SCLD went quite wide there, didn't he? A couple of them going wide out of the source, riding up to 6th place. So Liam manages to hold on, and his teammate gets around Adam. Now this is interesting. This is where we can see how much teamwork these guys are going to do. Is Groot going to work at keeping Adam behind him and protecting his teammate? And he has. You can see there, he's giving Liam a little bump up the Kemmel Straight to keep him in the lead. And that is a really, really smart team move there. He knew he wasn't going to be able to hold off Adam. Oh, very, very twitchy Evil Dragon. Had to come back on the track. He's come back in 5th. But very twitchy. Almost lost the back end of the car there. Yeah, that was a brilliant move from Groot. As they headed up that Kemmel Straight, it looked like he was going to be under significant pressure from the Renault Megane driver, and rather than try and hold him at bay, he got in behind his teammate, gave him that little bump draft, and that's given Liam a 1.3, so 1.5 second advantage now, heading down into Pouillon. Now, as we were talking about in race number 1, slipstream is so important here if you want to keep with the cars ahead, and he's already now pulled out that slipstream range. So the minute we started talking about team orders, and straight away we see how well 2 teammates, especially so close on the racetrack, can work together to work towards the championship. And we'll bring it up very quickly to see. Well, I know we're racing, but there we go. You can see that they're only a few points behind in second for the team championship. So top 3 finishes for them in race number 1. If they can finish a 1-2 here, not only does it give Liam a bigger buffer over Adam in the individual championship, but it also closes that gap significantly in the team championship. Of course, we've got one more race today here at Spa before we move for the final meet of the season at Deep Forest Raceway, and there's some interesting exploits of track limits again there through Blanchimont into the bus stop chicane we go. Groot is under significant pressure. You can see it. Look how much pressure he's under. We go to the chase cam here, right? This is Liam. Look behind. Look at that gap, 3.1 seconds, and the reason being, Adam is now through. But look at this. That's the entire field. Mark and Captain Slow are separated by just 2 seconds there. That's the entire field there on that section of racetrack. The other car you see just going through, ready on now, that disappearing, that was Liam. SCLD, great move. He's up to, well, that's some crazy track limits there. 4.3 seconds is Liam's lead now, because of that carnage behind. And now his teammate has to take some credit for that, because he held those cars up, allowed his teammate to disappear, and now he was on those medium tyres. It was only a matter of time before he was going to get swallowed up. Or losing the back end slightly does bring it back in. He's under pressure from those two Focus STs. You can see there he's on those medium compound tyres, so he is going to get swallowed up. Liam on the softs. He's going to be in the final race on the medium compound. So winning this race, of course, he's going to be at the back of the grid anyway for that final race. So it's not going to be the easiest job he's had on the medium tyres, but he's maximising the points where he can here. SCLD on those softs in that BMW. Missed race number 1. He was last on the grid and has absolutely scythed his way through that field up into second. Adam second in the championship, third on the racetrack. Is he going to be fourth as Ethan Graham now on those soft compound tyres, demonstrating the pace that he really does have. I mean, he finished fourth in that last race on the medium tyres and held off a challenge from the cars behind so well, but at the moment just struggling to find a way around Adams. Very, very good in a straight line. That's very good, that McCann. He's got it tuned. Oh, Adam is off the racetrack, some distance off the racetrack. How many places are you going to lose? He's going to get back on eventually, but it looks like his teammate might actually get through as well. He didn't, but it was darn close. So to dash just behind his teammate now as he went very, very wide. So Liam leads 4 seconds from SCLD, or Sklud as he likes to be called. That's what his mum called him, honestly. Graham there in third now. The two BMW drivers scythed their way up through that field. You've got the Honda Civic Rich Energy leading the way. BMW, Renault Megane. The teammates all racing together. There's the Ford Focus ST. There's another Ford Focus ST. Then you've got Groot there in the other Rich Energy car, losing out a little bit after helping his teammate there on lap 1. He's got Original John behind him in the Volkswagen Golf. He's struggling, worked so hard in race number 1 to find a way around Graham, and just couldn't get that car anywhere near getting past him. Well, I say anywhere near. He was close, but no cigar. There's Riley there in the AMG. That 4x4, super quick off the line. Been super quick in the hands of his teammate Panos, but no Panos this evening. Riley's struggling a little bit with the 4x4. To be fair, it's not the best track for that little AMG. Captain Slow living up to his name. There he is in 11th place. And he's got Mark T behind him. Can he keep Mark T behind him? We could actually see Captain Slow beating Mark T for a change, because it tends to be Captain Slow, I think, was 11 seconds back in that race number 1. So it'd be nice for him to see him beat his teammate once, or twice, or 3 times. But at the moment, he's 1.8 seconds clear of his teammate in 11th place. But there's your race leader. It was 4 seconds. It's now 4.4. He just doesn't care about the script. The script said it was going to be a battle. He doesn't care about that. He's torn it up. 25.7 is the fastest lap of the race so far. We know he can go quicker than that. He doesn't really need to at the moment. He just needs to manage that gap. That is Graham and Adam duking it out. Is one of them going to make it through? Graham through again, side by side as they head down. Big braking zone here. Who's going to come off the best? is both of them staying out of the gravel. Actually, it looked to me for a very brief second that Graham might go wide into that gravel. Adam sensibly just drops off. He knows he can't force Graham out wide there. That's a penalty, and he's not going to really get the pace out of the corner if he takes it too tight. He's done the right thing. He's tucked in behind. He's going to have a little look around Blanchimont, and while Evil Dragon there actually really get involved with that, is he going to put Adam under significant pressure and take away the pressure from Graham? We saw it before. We saw when Liam was under some pressure, and then the battle behind him kind of started going, and that was it. It was curtains for those guys behind, because he just disappeared while the guys behind were fighting. And it looks like this is happening again behind Graham. We saw Adam putting some real pressure on him, and now Adam's gone from challenging for the lead to trying to hold off the charge of the Ford Focus ST team, the Napa racing team of Evil Dragon and Harding, both tucked in behind him. And they're going to get a really good run now as we head up the hill. Let's have a little look from the view. Actually, we want to go from Harding's car, because these two are really going to put him under pressure. Through Radion they go, onto that Kemmel straight, flat out 6th gear. We know that at the top end of this hill, Adam can do 153. What about these Focuses? They're topping out at 150. Adam hasn't got the benefit of slipstream, but he has got the benefit of that extra bit of speed. But what a move from Evil Dragon. Did he get it slowed down enough? I don't think so, and he did exploit those track limits quite significantly. Does the right thing and tucks back in behind Adam. But what a move there. Very brave to try and make that move around the outside, particularly when you've got the speed differential that the Focus has at 3 miles an hour. And I know 3 miles an hour doesn't sound like a lot, but it's the difference between killing a child and just maiming them. So yeah, it does matter, as the back of Evil Dragon's Focus stepping out on him, but he gets it back under control very, very quickly. That's the wrong button. That's the one I'm looking for. On board with Harding. We'll have a look behind now. The gap now 3.1 seconds. You can just see it's Groot and Original John just at the top of the hill. They're still duking it out. Adam's still holding off Evil Dragon. Does Harding now make the move on his teammate? Does he say to his teammate, look, you've had a couple of corners, you've had a couple of goes at this guy, you haven't got it done, I'm all over the back of you, let me through, let me have a go. And see if they can, because this Ford Focus team really does need the points. They're quite down in the table at the moment. I think they're down in 4th or 5th in the table at the moment. I could really do with a good, solid finish, particularly over their championship rivals. But no, alas, he seems to be dropping off now the back of his teammate. And Evil Dragon does really parrot him off the racetrack there. Surely there should be some sort of penalty for going off the race, but it looks like shortcut penalties are off. And again, Evil Dragon outbreaks himself into that bus stop chicane, clutches into his teammate, and off disappears Adam. What an absolute clusterfuck that was. Teammate against teammate coming out of the source. Nobody likes to see any of that. We'll have another little look. You can see here, from the perspective, there's his teammate coming back on the track, clatters him, almost knocking him into the pit lane. Yeah, Evil Dragon. There's a couple of times today we've seen Evil Dragon get that La Source chicane wrong. The bus stop chicane wrong. I say the source because they were going into the source at the time. Right, anyway, moving swiftly on while I fuck up my words. There's Liam still in the lead. He's now 4.9 seconds clear now. Really opening up a gap with Adam having those shenanigans back in 4th. He's got some work to do to beat those BMWs and get back into the top 3. SCLD still holding off his teammate by 2 seconds. Came straight in, missed race number 1. Finds himself now in 2nd place, having scythed through the field in those first couple of laps. We're on lap 5 of 7 here. This is race number 14 of this BTCC tribute season with Full Throttle Racing. We're at Spa. Spa themselves describe it as the most beautiful racetrack in the world. It's up there. I don't know. Nordschleife at night compared to this. It's a difficult call. I suppose it depends on what you like. I think Silverstone's the greatest racetrack ever because I'm British and I'm sticking to it and I don't give a fuck what you think. Liam in the lead, 4.7 clear of SCLD. Graham in 3rd, 2.8 now back to Adam. He has now got a bit of a buffer. He's not being troubled now by those Ford Focuses. They've dropped off a little bit. They're still battling it out, and Harding's still all over his teammate. His teammate's not giving an inch. Now this is where I think you know, you can learn something from the Rich Energy team here, where Groot held up the entire field on those medium tyres as long as he could to allow his teammate to make a big gap. These two now, you can see that clearly Harding is putting a lot of pressure on the back of Evil Dragon. We look at their last lap. Evil Dragon with a 28.6, Harding with a 28.0. Lap before, 26.2 for Harding, 26.5 for Evil Dragon. So Harding clearly got more pace than his teammate out in front, but he's being held up. The cars are going to be very similar in terms of performance, so you're not going to have necessarily an edge in car performance, and they're clearly very similar in terms of driving style. But you, surely, as a you know, when you're working as a team here, you can see the car ahead that you were going after. Now 1.5 seconds up the road, you need to kind of talk to each other and say, look, you know, I think go and have a go at him. If you can't, then you know what, give me the position back. Well, like that, yeah, you see it happen in motorsport so much. But these guys, I don't think team orders matter to them. It's all about individual racing and just getting it on the racetrack. Groot, there he is, holding on in 7th. I can see the other Power Maxed McGann going to close on the back of Groot. He's on the soft compound tyres, it's a dash. Groot's on those mediums, so he's going to struggle a little bit, particularly towards the end of the race. Riley under some pressure from the original John. It's unusual to see the original John all the way down there, but he is on those medium compound tyres, you can see. So he's just going to slow him up a little bit. Can he make the move around the AMG? The AMG not at all performing well. And a big little jump there from the original John. See that? Should we see that again? Here's the original John going for a little jumpy jump. I bet it doesn't show this time. Different angle on the corner. No, it didn't show that time. Just my luck. Oh, there we go. It was there. Little jump from original John. Don't know how that quite happened. He hit a bollard. But there we go. Game physics for the win. He has found his way around Riley. He's up into 9th, but he's got a lot of work to do to catch the back of that Renault Megane. At the back, Captain Slow. He's still ahead of Mark T. Get in there, my son. He's found some rhythm. He's found some really consistent rhythm, actually. In that first race, he really struggled with consistency. But 1 second separates his fastest and his slowest lap. That's really, really good consistency, particularly for a backmarker. Mark T not having quite the same joy. He is getting, he's about 1.5 seconds difference between fastest and slowest, but unfortunately his fastest is not quite quick enough. Riley back around original John. What's going on there? The cars seem to have disappeared somewhere. What's going on? These two really duking it out. What have we missed here? So we can see Riley makes the move on original John. Original John round the outside, holds it. Inside line this time, gets that move back as they head down towards that bus stop chicane. I don't think the replay is going to be long enough. But no, it's not. We'll find out where they ended up. Original John back ahead of Riley. So, final lap of the race. It is Liam now 5.1 seconds clear. And we talked about consistency with the guys at the back. His slowest lap is a 55.971. His slowest lap, fastest lap is a 55.6. 0.3 of a second difference between his fastest and his slowest lap. And when you consider this is almost a 2.5 minute lap, that is accuracy personified. It's so, I don't think people appreciate just how difficult it is to do that. You have to hit the same lines every single time you go around, and you know, however the racetrack has changed, your tyre temps have changed, the fuel load has changed, the weight, the balance of the car, all those kind of things you have to factor in to be putting in such close, accurate times over the course of 7 laps, over the course of a 2.5 minute lap. Absolutely professional standard. And that is why I suppose he's an A+ driver. Stands to reason. A+ driver will drive at that kind of consistency. Graham making a move on his teammate, and what a time to make it as they head into the final sector of the final lap. We'll get a quick shift at that before we watch Liam crossing the line. You can see here he's behind his teammate. getting nice tucked in behind there, getting that bit of slipstream, makes that really smart move up the inside. It's a tricky place to make an overtake, but that was smart. He saw the gap, saw that was probably going to be the last opportunity, and he took it, snatched it. So here we are with your race leader into the bus stop chicane for the final time in this race number 2 here at Spa. In there nice and clean, he's going to cross the line and take a very significant second win, which is significant not just for the win here but for the championship. Graham and SCLD crossing the line, second and third, attached at the hip. Adam fought his way back to fourth, could only hold on for fourth. Evil Dragon tucked him right behind him there and pulled a massive gap on his teammate towards the end. There's Harding crossing the line, Groot in behind him, St Dash in the other Renault Megane, the original John in the Volkswagen Golf with Riley in that AMG coming home in 10th. Captain Slow, he was 11 seconds back in that last race. This time he's about 10.5 seconds back, so he has improved, but this time he beats Mark T to that line. Mark T finishing 2.4 seconds behind his teammates, and Ethan Graham with a phenomenal. I posited whether we'd see the low 220s this race when we hit the 225s in qualifying, and 223 in that race from Ethan Graham was absolutely phenomenal. And I meant to do that. No, why is it going to show me the? There we go, that one. There we go, so Liam there held fastest lap until that last lap when Ethan Graham with a 25.3 steals the fastest lap from him. SCLD in third, Adam in fourth, Evil Dragon fifth, Harding was sixth, Groot in seventh, St Dash was in eighth place, original John in ninth, Riley in 10th, Captain Slow in 11th, and Mark T in 12th position. Good finish from all of those actually. It's going to be interesting to see because Liam now is going to be at the back of the grid on medium compound tyres. Yeah, that's going to be it's going to be a hard slog. So you're going to have him, you're going to have Adam, you're going to have Groot. They're all going to be on. Oh, actually, would Adam be on the mediums? I think Adam might be on the medium tyres as well. Not sure. Groot won't be. Groot will be there on the soft compounds. Evil Dragon will be on softs, as will Graham. He did the first race on those mediums. As you know, they have to use the medium compound tyres in one of the 3 races, and they are restricted to which of those races they can use it in. So, at the beginning of the season, they're allocated 2 race 1, 2 race 2, 2 race 3 medium tyre allocations, and they've used up all but 1 now. And I know that Ethan Graham has used up his second and last medium tyre allocation for race number 1. So we're starting in about 4 minutes, or returning in about 4 minutes. So I'll be back with you in 2.
What's my serotonin? That bitch is always moaning. I haven't felt good since 7 this morning. I need another hit, quick. I need another hit, quick. You make me feel sick. Maybe we should ring that bitch and get the curse. Quit your verse and throw the car in reverse. Hit the dirty, burn that shit quicker than my fucking herb. Just one little piece of happiness is what I deserve. Feel better every day. Feel better every day. Feel better with a champagne, gateway, cocaine, ketamine, migraine, just make it right.
We have returned for the final race of this 3-race series here at Spa. We are away, it is reverse grid, and straight away Riley with an absolutely phenomenal start in AMG, and it's a really, really good position for him to be in because he's not, nothing against him, he's a nice guy. I've known Aaron for quite some time, but he'll admit himself he's not as quick as those guys out in front. But the AMG, with its phenomenal start, and the fact he's ahead of those back markers, Mark T, Captain Slow, St Dash, he's going to be able to pull himself a bit of a head of steam in the AMG and make it difficult for the guys around to make the move. Let's have a look at some of the front runners and see who's making the big moves. Groot already up to 4th. That's a great move from him. He's already round Captain Slow. Original John making moves as well. Harding there in 6th. There's Ethan Graham. He's in at 7th position already. His teammate SCLD just there behind him. Ooh, a little bit tank slappy there. Nearly saw Captain Slow disappearing. St Dash moving down the order. There's Adam in 10th, Liam in 11th, who's already moved up. Evil Dragon down in a 12th position. So Liam on those medium compound tires, you can see. There he is. Adam's also on those mediums. They're going to struggle to find their way through. 9th and 10th for those two at the moment. They're the current championship leaders, 1st and 2nd in the championship, but reverse the other way, of course. Liam desperately looking for a move around Adam if he can find it. Currently being held up by Captain Slow. Right out in front, though, there is Aaron Riley. He is 7/10 of a second ahead of Mark T. Mark T, who finished plumb last in that last race. Tell you what, he's holding on really well in comparison to, and I don't know whether it's a dog or one of my children's farted, but it stinks. I do apologise. I know you guys can't smell it, but I can, and it's making me feel sick. Which one of you was it? I'm sorry, guys, that was heinous, man. I don't think it's a dog because I can't see the dog. Right, so anyway, Riley leading the way from Mark T. Mark T holding on well, but he's got Groot all over the back of him. You see there, who else is on the medium tyres? I think it's just those two. Oh, there we go. Harding as well on the mediums in that Ford Focus. We've got SCLD on the mediums. We've got Liam on the mediums. He's ahead now of Adam, also on those mediums. Evil Dragon also on those mediums. Captain Slow also on those mediums. And we've St Dash, where is he? There he is. He's on the softs. There was a little bit of a coming together there. Let's have a little look again at that. Because it looked to me that he was ahead, or he got ahead of Captain Slow. But, yeah, he did briefly. And then what happened? Oh, then he got kind of bogged down a little bit coming out of the corner. Okay. There we have it. So there we go. So into lap 2 we go, heading up that Kemmel Straight, and it's still Mr. Riley leading the way in the AMG Mercedes-Benz. 8 tenths over Groot, who's made his way down around Mark T, and already made a significant gap. As you can see now, Mark T under pressure from Original John, he's under pressure from Graham, he's under pressure from Harding, SCLD, they're all putting pressure now back there. This is the view from SCLD. This is the battle for third. In fact, to be fair, it's not far off the battle for first at the moment, because you can see first and second adjusted going into Speaker's Corner now, as these guys are coming out of that tricky hairpin. That is Liam in the background there, pulling a gap now on Evil Dragon. He's got ahead. Evil Dragon's got ahead of Adam as well, who seems to be struggling a bit on those medium compound tyres. And you can see how close these guys are. Such close racing from these touring car guys. And you can see that there's no quarter given, but fair racing. None of this daily race nonsense where you're barging people out of the way. Mark T and Egram having a little tussle, nothing doing there. But you can see Mark T dropping well off the pace. That's SCLD making the move back on Harding. Doesn't want to get any pressure from him coming round into Blanchimont, as they say in Belgique. But there we go. So you can see up ahead, Riley still leading the way. It's 4.4 seconds is the gap currently as we head down to the end of the second lap. SCLD all over the back of his teammate, similar to how they were in. Oh, what happened there? What happened to Graham there? It kind of went a little bit wrong, but I can't see what actually happened to him. He didn't get hit by anybody, and did he just get out of shape there? It looks like he got really out. It's almost like his wheel turned him into a. Did he have an equipment failure then, because the steering showed full lock to the left hand side? Now whether he did that as a result of trying to arrest a slide, but that's cost him dearly, because he's now down in 7th place, 2.7 ahead of the chasing pack back in 8th, but now almost a second behind Liam. So that's made a very, very different look at the scenario here. So there is Riley now leading the way still. He's under pressure now from Groot all over the back of him. He's doing what his teammate at the moment can't do, which is challenge for the lead. He's just 5 tenths of a second behind the leader, pulling away now from Original John there in third. On board with John. This is what he can see. He's looking in his mirrors, and behind him, that's the battle between SCLD and Harding. And Harding now involved in that battle. He hasn't got his teammate with him anymore, but he has got the Ford Focus ST driver with him. Original John looking desperately at the back of that Honda Civic and wondering if he can find a way to close that 1.8 seconds. The gap opening up, a tenth here, a tenth there. And at the moment, there's just nothing he seems to be able to do to close that gap. Every corner is another tenth added, and those cars ahead just starting to pull away. Now, how much is Group being held up by Riley? We know that Riley hasn't had super pace right here in the AMG. It's not, but the 4x4 AMG is not the best car for Spa. Very difficult to get that car set up for the tricky Sector 2 and 3 in particular. That's Original John setting the fastest second sector there of the race so far here on lap 3. Fastest lap is with Group with that 27.1. What a contrast to the last race when the 25.3 was the fastest lap. That was from Ethan Graham, I believe. So we're waiting to see if anyone can emulate that or even beat it. I think it's going to be very difficult to see that, but I think a bit of slipstream you might, but the weather conditions aren't quite as good as they were last time out. We've certainly not got rain again. I was so thinking that at least one of those 3 races we would see some level of rain. Fastest lap is with Ethan Graham, of course. He steals it immediately off the Original John as soon as he gets it. There's a 25.6. Sorry, no, actually the original was 26.6 anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Right. we're looking at this battle here because Groot is really giving something for Riley to think about. Now we'll see. Now we're heading up the hill. Top speed on the Civic is about 150, and he seems to be topping out at 149. I know he's getting, now he's got the slipstream 151, 52, 50, yeah, 152 towards the end of the Kemmel Straight with the slipstream. It seemed to bog down on 147 for a while. I don't quite know why it did that. Maybe it just wasn't quite close enough in the slipstream, and then once it picked that extra bit of impetus from the toe, it just gave it that little bit of a run. Here he goes. He's making a move up the inside of the AMG Mercedes driver. Does he get that move done? And that is a fantastic move. And what a place to make it. It's a brave place to make it, I can tell you that. You can see he's tucked in nicely behind him and into the hairpin. Riley just leaves far too much room on the inside, and he's able to get that slowed down, his Groot, and stick to that inside line. There is nothing Riley can do to stop him, and that is all changed out in the lead. It could be a triple whammy for the Rich Energy Honda team today, with Groot leading the way. There's Riley in second. Next person who's going to challenge him, it will be Original John. He was struggling to close the gap, but he's now down to 1.5 seconds. Is he now going to see a little bit of opportunity to put a challenge on Groot? Groot can obviously use this this buffer, this AMG buffer, to try and give himself a bit of a gap. I do want to watch this on the back of that car. Be your own boss. I will be, thank you. Thank you very much. There is Graham. He's back into the top four. Good to see him back up there. 1.4 seconds behind the only US driver. Harding is sixth place, just getting a great move there actually by SCLD, but Harding does the old switcheroo flip-flop and gains that position back. Very, very smart. He was quite happy to give up the corner there. You can see there, you can watch here, you can see him, he can see the car behind's got a good run on him. He's happy to give up the first part of the corner here to SCLD. He knows that if he brakes a little bit earlier, he can get the impetus on the way out. That's exactly what he did in that Focus. That was really, really smart move from him to do that. He could have got it horribly wrong, but he planned out very, very well. He's still under pressure though. As they head up the Kemmel Straight, it's going to get even harder, and that is an interesting line through Radion. Just go straight on, mate. Don't bother turning right. It's not, there's no point having a steering wheel if you don't want to use it, is there? He's got the run there, but Liam behind him, a much better run. He's going to make a move up the inside. How brave, how big are this guy's balls? Well, he's the championship leader. They're not going to be tiny ones, I can tell you that. He makes the move on the BMW. That move is done. Harding has got a big enough gap to be safe for now, but that was a fabulous move by Liam. We can watch him and see how far back he comes from. You can see here, look at this. Makes a dive at the end of the Kemmel Straight. Keeps his foot in, though, doesn't back out, holds his line, makes that move there, and that was a phenomenal move from Liam. Up into a sixth position, top six now for the current championship leader, and he's already extended his lead at the top of the championship. Can he extend it further? Well, there's Adam. There's the guy he's racing for the championship. Adam currently in second. He is down there in 10th place on those medium tyres, and that move by Liam actually more so a good move because of the fact he's on those medium tyres to make the move against SCLD, who's also on the mediums, but it's still a very, very brave move to make there. You've got much less grip with those medium tyres than you do with the racing softs. Gap now to Harding is 0.6 of a second, but it's not all over from this BMW driver. He's going to have a little look. Liam just coming across, just saying, no, if you're going to make the move, you're going to have to touch me. He did touch him. He's going to have to show the judge on the little dial where he touched him, but he's still ahead, only just into the bus stop chicane. Is he going to make the same move? SCLD doesn't do it this time. We saw what happened to him last time. He tried it on Harding. Opsa backs out this time, doesn't want to take the risk, wants to give himself the best possible run at Liam down to the source, and Liam not able to cut across to the preferred left hand side here. He's got to defend the inside line into the source, does that well, under braking, gets nice and tight on the apex. SCLD is going to get a slightly better exit, which he does. He's tucked nicely in behind. If he can get a good run now through Eau Rouge and Radion, he very much is going to be in for a move around this Honda Civic. into Eau Rouge they go. Flick it round into Radion. Nice and tight on the curbs. Can he keep his foot in? He's all the way off the racetrack. Liam gets to breathe a sigh of relief. He just couldn't hold that BMW through the second part of that crazy little chicane. So Liam breathes a sigh of relief. I can imagine his car right now is wiping the sweat from underneath his chin as he gets a little bit of a breather, but it's not over yet. Let's have a little look down at the field, or the top of the field. There is Groot, 2.7 seconds clear. And once he got the gap, he took it. Original John now up to second. Graham up to third. Riley now dropping down to fourth place. He was in the lead for the first couple of laps. We're on lap 6 of 7 here at Spa. Harding in fifth. He's benefiting from the battle behind between Liam and SCLD. That they're not closing on him that quickly. How long will they battle behind, and how long can he hold them off if they finally do get there? Evil Dragon now under a bit of pressure from St Dash. He's on the soft compound tyres in that Renault Megane. He's got his teammate behind him on the mediums, and he's got a really good opportunity as Ashley to make a move on Evil Dragon here, because he's got those softer tyres. Evil Dragon, we know, he's no slouch on any tyre, and he's great defensively, but it's just so hard when you're going, and you can see there, it was almost too easy for St Dash to get round him, just because he's got that better grip. And into Blanchimont they go. He's going to get a good run, Evil Dragon, now down to the bus stop chicane. There with Adam, you can see the battle at the head. At the minute, we've got Evil Dragon sandwiched between those two Renault Meganes. And Evil Dragon, he's making a move around Blanchimont. Did he force in Dash 1? It looked to me there was a little bit of touchy, but nothing you would get a rape kit out for. Yeah, it was pretty close. In under braking, in they go. Evil Dragon trying desperately to hold on. St Dash though with that extra grip, making it count. Adam making his extra speed count. He's trying to make a move up the inside of Evil Dragon. It's going to be an Evil Dragon sandwich. He's going to get crushed between those two Megans if he's not careful. This is less racing and more Friday night, especially if you know what I mean, for half an hour. And the two Megans are through ahead of Evil Dragon. And there we go. Mark T is getting the better of Captain Slow this time. He's in 11th and Captain Slow in 12th. Not having such a good race this time out. Race leader AXR Groot in the Rich Energy Civic. That will be 3 from 3 for the Rich Energy team today. 3.2 seconds. Graham in that BMW is 3.2 behind. Looking pretty racy though. He's 25.6, his fastest lap, and he's got the fastest lap of this particular race. Original John just under a second behind, 1.4 to Riley, 1.2 to Harding, a second back to Liam, and SCLD still battling out here on this last lap, but I think while the field is closing on them, I don't think there's going to be many more opportunities to make a move. So here we go. This is your race leader, just a few corners left to make it 3 from 3 for Rich Energy. 2 top 3 finishes for Groot. 2 top 3 finishes for his teammate Liam. A massive haul of points for the pair of them. Really going to work on that Constructors' Championship. I think the problem is going to be now with an individual championship that I think Liam has done enough, is that when he couldn't win, which was in this race, he made sure he was ahead of his championship rival, or his main championship rival, that is. He was only a couple of points ahead of him, but he has opened that gap significantly now. I'm not going to bother doing the math, 1 because I can't be bothered, and 2 because it's not my job. I will leave that to Ashley to sort out. Right, so Groot into that bus stop chicane. He turns right, he turns left, he gets on the power. The back of the car doesn't bother stepping out because he's not going to go too crazy. 2.3 seconds and takes the final checkered flag of the day. Graham in second, Original John in third, Riley in fourth, Harding home in fifth, sixth was Liam, seventh SCLD or Sklud. Behind Evil Dragon going incredibly wide. That's Adam to the line almost. Quick look at that. Look at how close this was to the line. And we'll stick with Evil Dragon. See there, St Dash making the move. Was there a little touch? It looked to be a little touch. And they're still battling it out, these three. And you can see this drag race to the line between these two, Adam and SCLD. But he just makes it. Sorry, Evil Dragon, SCLD. Just makes it over Evil Dragon in that Ford Focus. St Dash then in 10th, Mark T in 11th, and Captain Slow, wouldn't you know, he is 12th. Let's go. So there we have it. All three races done. We have one round remaining in this series, and I tell you what, it's going to be an absolute doozy at Deep Forest Raceway. Official results for anyone that cares. It's group from Graham, Original John from Riley, Harding from the championship leader Liam, SCLD from Adam, Evil Dragon, St Dash, Mark T and Captain Slow. Fastest lap that time out was E. Graham in the M2, 2:25.6, 3/10 off the fastest lap of the day, which was also his, actually, to be fair, with a 25.3. All that's left to say is thank you very much for joining me. Next week, Spa is done round 16, 17 and 18 at Deep Forest Raceway, 2.6 miles, 18 corners, 10 laps, and it is a crazy racetrack. Overtaking there's only about 3 corners. Excuse me, only about 3 corners where overtaking is even possible. It's such a difficult racetrack to overtake. So looking forward to next week. I've been UrbanPyrate. This has been the Full Throttle Racing BTCC Championship. It's been emotional.